Hi, hello everyone. In continuation to the last class, what we have discussed, we would now just go through these features of the marketing. So, the first feature of the marketing that we would actually be speaking right now would be satisfy the needs and wants of the. So, basically, in the features of marketing, we are going to speak. The first one is satisfying the needs and wants. So, whose needs and wants are we satisfying? We are satisfying the needs and wants of the customers. Entire marketing focus is on satisfying the needs and wants of the customers. When a group of individuals express their needs, the company strive to satisfy these needs via marketing activities. See, there are a group of individuals who are having a specific need. So they will come to the market to buy that product or service which is going to satisfy that specific need or want of the customer. So these group of individuals are also called as potential customers. Who are the potential customers? The people who are having all the qualifications to become our customer. But he is not our customer, but he is having all the qualifications to become our customer. Then he is called as potential customer. Today or tomorrow or one day he will certainly be our customer. So when these people come to the market to buy our product, and how they will buy that product, why they will come to the market directly to your product? In market there are 101 products, there are n products, why they will come only to your product? Via the marketing activities, means because of the marketing activities they will come and buy your product. Second one is creating a market offering. Then the companies must dedicate their efforts to create an ideal market offering based on their study of potential customers. This product or service offered must try to fulfill all of the requirements of the potential customer in a given market. So, after completing the step number one, the people will come to the market to buy your product. And what your product should do? Your product should certainly satisfy the requirements of the customer. You should dedicate all your efforts as an organization. You should dedicate all your efforts, you should dedicate all your resources in creating an ideal market offering. What is an ideal market offering? Ideal market offering is nothing but your product. So you should create an ideal product which can effectively and efficiently satisfy the needs and wants of the customer. And based upon what, when your product will be successful, when your product will certainly satisfy the needs and wants of the customers, when you do a survey and when you understand the requirements of the customers, potential customers perfectly, then you will do it. So an ideal company should do the need analysis first, identify the needs and wants of the customers, and then try to create an ideal product which can satisfy the needs and wants of the customers in a given market. Value, customer value. The customer's buying decisions will be greatly dependent on the price of the product. It must satisfy their needs at the cost that they think is fair. So the sellers must add value to the product and price it accordingly. So the customer is willing and gets value for his price. So Indian customers are very price conscious. Bata has a pricing style 99.50. They will tell all our products are under 100 rupees and the product value each one they are selling would be 99.50. What is the major difference between 99.50 and 100? It's a difference of 50 NP, and even if you buy it at 99.50, we are 100% sure that you will not get your 50 NP back. But even then we prefer 99.50 product. That is, we are very price conscious. So our buying decision will majorly be dependent on the price. which product can satisfy my needs economically, which product can satisfy my needs at a lesser price, I will buy such product. So, thus, as a seller, it is your duty to add value to the product and then price it accordingly in terms of the value. If I pay a price of 100 rupees for that product should deliver me the value of more than 100 rupees. Then only I will buy that product. So it should create value. And it should actually, like I said, marketing involves exchange. Marketing is a two-way process. Marketing is an marketing is not an one-way process. It is a two-way process. The seller must satisfy the needs of wants of the customer, and the buyer will pay some amount or anything else to the seller in reciprocation to the satisfaction that he has got because of using that product. So it is a give and take policy. As a customer, I am asking the manufacturer, give a product which can satisfy my need, and I will give you the money or anything else. So it is an exchange mechanism. It is never a one-time process. So the next major important topic in this chapter, we are talking about Indian marketing environment. What is an environment? The area surrounding us is called as an environment. What environment are we talking about? We are going to talk about the marketing environment, and that too specifically about India we are talking. So it is Indian marketing environment. Marketing activities are influenced by several factors inside and outside a business firm. So when I am operating a business firm, there are many internal factors and there are many external factors which are going to affect my business. These factors or forces influencing marketing decision making are collectively called as marketing environment. Indirectly, what is marketing environment? The factors which are going to affect the business internally and externally are called as marketing environment. According to Philip Kotler, marketing environment refers to external factors and forces that affect the company's ability to develop and maintain successful transactions and relationships with its target customers. In the earlier point, we have just spoke that it may be an internal or the external factors inside and outside a business firm. But according to Philip Kotler, the major emphasis is on the external factors because internal factors can be controlled. All the internal factors will be under our control, whereas external factors cannot be controlled. External factors are not in our hands. So we should lay major focus and we should give major emphasis on external factors. So, marketing environment refers to external factors and forces that affect the company's ability to develop and maintain successful transactions and relationships with its target customers. So, what is our major motto in analyzing these external factors? In order to make sure that company is successful in maintaining good relationships with its target customers and getting good transactions from its target customers. That is the major motto in analyzing the external factors and forces of the Indian marketing environment. The firm must be aware of what is going on in its marketing environment and appreciate how change in its environment can lead to changing patterns of demand for its products. It is the firm's duty to notice what is happening in the environment. It is the firm's duty to understand what is happening in the environment. Why the firm should do that? Because based upon that, it can mold its strategies effectively. It can change its product offerings effectively. It can change its product according to the demand. It can change its product according to the perception of the customers. You should continuously monitor the environment, because based upon the environment only you run your business. Environment is not based on your business, but your business is based upon the environment. When you analyze the environment outside, you found out that it is very cold outside. So what do? You wear a jerkin, or you actually wear a monkey cap and then go outside. Why? Otherwise, what will happen? Otherwise, you will get some ill health and your body mechanism will be disturbed. In the same way, if you don't analyze the external environment, your business will get disturbed and your business mechanism will get disturbed. It also needs to assess marketing opportunities and threats present in the surroundings. Any environment can be defined as everything which surrounds and impinges on a system. Like I said, what is an environment? An environment can be defined as anything which surrounds us, which impinges on a system, which is actually there on a system. Through the marketing opportunity, through the marketing environment, you can also assess opportunities and threats. When you analyze the marketing environment, you can know what are the loopholes of the competitor, so I can cash in. At the same time, you will also know what are the loopholes of my business which competitors can cash in. So the marketing environment analysis is basically done to find out what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, what are your opportunities, and what are your threats. The marketing environment is made up of micro environment and macro environment. So what is a micro environment? The micro environment of the company consists of various forces in its immediate environment that affects its ability to operate effectively in its chosen market. What is micro environment of the company? Various forces in its immediate environment that affects its ability to operate effectively in its chosen markets. The company will decide in which market it has to operate, and while choosing it, there are various forces that affect, and that all those forces comes under micro environment. The company, the company itself, company suppliers. My suppliers are not supplying me the products if I go into that market because it is too far away. So they will not cooperate. Marketing intermediaries. Here the marketing intermediaries are very densely located, but on the other area they are very scarcely located. So I don't have the marketing intermediaries, so I cannot expand my business. Customers. I don't have any customers there. Competitors, there are more number of competitors there. And public, the public, there are not our potential customers, or the public, there are very price conscious, so I cannot sell my high funda product there. All these may be the reasons. Why company? In designing marketing plans, marketing management takes other company groups into account: finance, research and development, purchase, manufacturing, accounting, top management. So my company is not a single entity, it is consisting of many departments. So as a company, if I am taking a decision to enter into some market, I cannot take that decision personally, or I cannot take that decision spontaneously. I cannot take that decision on behalf of everyone. I should take the help of all the departments, and then only I can take that decision. Suppliers. Suppliers provide the resources needed by the company. They are the important links and they are the value delivery system. So supplier developments can seriously affect the marketing. Like I said, without suppliers, you cannot do anything. Based upon the suppliers only, your product quality is graded. If your suppliers are low class, and if your suppliers are not punctual, if your suppliers are delivering not at the right intervals, what product will you manufacture? So you need to take care of your suppliers. Intermediaries. Intermediaries are the distribution channel members, which you should take them very carefully into the picture. Customers. Consumer markets consists of individuals and households that buy goods and services for personal consumption, and business markets buy goods and services for further processing or for use in their production process. Whereas reseller markets buy goods and services to resell at a profit. When you are talking about customers, there are basically three types of customers: individual customers, business customers, and reseller customers. Who are individual customers? They buy for themselves. I buy vegetables every week. I go to the market and buy vegetables for myself, for my family. That is an individual customer. I'm a vegetable wholesaler. I buy that vegetables. I'll add certain, certain commission, and I will sell it again. I am a reseller. I use vegetables because I actually, my business is to actually prepare pickles. So I use vegetables as a raw materials in my pickles, and then I will send them. I am a business market customer. So these are the different types of customers that you have. Competitors. No single competitive marketing strategy is best for all companies. The company's marketing system is surrounded and affected by a host of competitors. Each firm should consider its own size and industry position compared to those of its competitors. These competitors have to be identified, monitored, and outmaneuvered to gain and maintain customer loyalty. If you want to be successful in the business, there is no single marketing strategy, competitive marketing strategy. You should actually mold yourselves or your marketing strategies according to the changes in the environment. Even your company's marketing system is surrounded by your competitors, not one, by a host of competitors. So when you compare yourselves to another competitor, what should you think? You should think about your own size and your position. If your size is too big and if your position is too high, then you go for competition. If your size is too small and if your position is too small, don't think about your competitors. First, think about your survival. So, if your position is good in the market and if you have a good size in the market share, then you have to identify who your competitors are and what you should do. Other than identifying, you should monitor them. You should continuously watch them. In marketing, there is a saying, your biggest teacher is your competitor. Learn from your competitors, my dear friends. That's why always continuously monitor your competitor. In a class, your competitor is your next girl who is studying along with you. You both fight for good ranks. You both fight for good grades. So what will you do? You will continuously start monitoring that girl. What is she studying? In which book is she studying? How many hours is she studying? What I should do if I have to actually, outpass her, which means you should continuously monitor your competitors and outmaneuver them. What is outmaneuvering? Outmaneuvering is nothing but you should outplace them. There will be a time when you will have an upper hand on your competitor, and that is nothing but you will actually outmaneuver your competitors. Why are doing all this? In order to maintain customer loyalty. Because you have a single set of customers. These customers are your life. Without these customers, your business cannot survive. Your entire duty is to protect these customers. So concentrate all your efforts on protecting these customers. In case if any competitor comes to poach these customers, identify them, monitor them, and try to outplace them. Because if you lose your customers, you lose your business. Your business is nothing but your customers. Your customers are your biggest cash resource. So always try to maintain good relationship with the customers and try to create loyal customers. Public. General public do take interest in the business undertaking. The company has a duty to satisfy the public at large along with competitors and the consumers. A public is defined as any group that has an actual or potential interest or impact on a company's ability to achieve its objectives. Why do you need to talk about general public? What public will do to my business? it you like I said, organizations are working in a society. Organizations are not working in jungles. Organizations are not working in forests. Organizations are not working in remote areas. Organizations are operating in societies. Organizations are operating for societies, and organizations are operating by the societies. So it is your duty to satisfy the needs and wants of the people who are in the society also, because from that society only, from that people only, you will have your future customers, you will have your potential customers. So always do pay interest on the general public also, because they are also the greatest source of your business. So next is macro environment. Macro environment is the environment at the very large level that we are speaking about. Macro environment consists of broader forces that not only affect the company and the industry, but also other factors in the micro environment, which means micro environment is very thin and micro environment can be controlled, but macro environment is a broader force which not only affects the company, but also affects the micro environment. The components of macro environment are demographic environment, economic environment, physical environment, technological environment, political environment, legal environment, social and cultural environment. So in our next class, we'll actually be going through each of these environments and we'll try to understand. And I would once again like to remind you that this marketing environment is one of the very important topics as far as your unit 1 is concerned. So my dear friends, please do pay attention to this topic. Please try to extract maximum out of this topic from the other sources also. Until then, bye, take care.